Hello and welcome back to Somehow We Manage. This is episode 7. I got my good friend Sam here, ready to yap for however long we're going to yap today. How are you doing, Sam?
Oh, we're living today. How about you?
We're
How are you doing,
good.
George?
I'm doing good. I got a new stream set up. The camera's facing onwards to me right now. I'm a little bit wide, but that's because I'm waiting for a new camera. I discovered that mine today is not good, but or won't work, but it's fine. I can't believe you and I went through all that crap last weekend just to find
Listen,
out today that it wasn't going to work.
listen. We reset and reconsolidate and create a better path forward.
There you go.
Mind you, that's it. That's it. That's all you got to do. So,
Speaking of creating better paths forward, how about the esports scene this week? Have you looked at anything at all?
yeah, I've seen all the Marvel Rivals pickups.
Oh
Those
my
are
gosh.
atrocious and disgusting. I'm not gonna lie.
Did you see
Although,
Shroud even broke into the esports scene with his own org?
no, wait, Shroud did. I missed that.
He
Hold on.
has his own organization now, Shroud X, and I think they've won one match with their rivals team. That's what he started out with, the rival team.
That's I'm gonna be real. That's very odd that Shroud would independently create an org. Like,
It honestly, like, when he first picked up Marvel Rivals, I'm not gonna lie, he did call it out saying that this was like his favorite game and like his biggest like thinks it's gonna be the big esports or game. So like I don't really think that it's too surprising on my end, but then again, I watch a lot of Shroud personally. So like I kind of had a feeling it was happening, and plus I'm not gonna lie, Shroud has been itching to get back in the esports scene.
yeah, I guess the biggest thing I have, like, contentious wise, is the fact that number one, Shroud is the elder guards at this point for esports. Number two, I don't know how his management agency is going to be handling this because essentially management agencies want a banner to, hang to ensure that they have multiple fingers in multiple pies. So I just don't know what that all looks like at the end of the day.
I for whatever
So
reason what I see it as, and like this might just be the way he's kind of playing it, is it's very a very casual organization. You know, like Shroud is promoting it, he is actively throwing his own money at it, and like it almost seems like it just was very casual release. Like you're just like, oh, I have a Marvel Rivals team. Shroud X is the organization that they're playing underneath. I did send you one tweet that he did send. You might
I saw
enjoy.
that.
You might enjoy seeing that scoreline.
Yeah, I did. I do. I genuinely enjoy that.
Put a smile on Sam's face. They're 2-0ing envious. But yeah, Shroud has an esports organ in rivals right now. Honestly, not doing bad, but also not doing great. I think they're like 1-2 right now in games. They lost against Sentinels and lost against an unsigned organization, Nature Org. Oh, FlyQuest. Duh.
FlyQuest just got picked up.
Yep.
Yeah, another ghost roster.
Fly. Oh, was it? Oh, wait.
Yeah,
FlyQuest is?
FlyQuest brought up a roster. I'm pretty sure it was a ghost roster, if I'm correct. If not, I probably mixed them up with someone else.
Got it. Yeah, no, FlyQuest, they just had the Marvels team and they beat Shroud's team today to 2-0. And then yeah, they Shroud also lost to Sentinels 1-2. Honestly, Sentinels is kind of like one of those quiet, not even quiet. I don't hear about Sentinels only when they win though. Like that's the only time I'll hear about them.
Well, Sentinels has had such a rough path when they first got built to now where they're at that I think they have to be quiet because of the controversies in the past in regards to when they originally got into Overwatch. Sentinels was associated with I'm trying
Oh.
to remember. I believe his name was Michael Moore. Not who you may think of, but they were loosely associated with Phoenix One at the time, and they had acquired the Gladiators spot, not the other LA team, but the Glads. And yeah, because
Oh,
that was the Cronky roster.
yeah, Gleaming Gladiators, right?
Yeah, whatever they were, but the Gladiators, LA Gladiators, were partially owned by the same organizations that all of them were associated with, being uh, Sentinels, and then they had and Phoenix One. Phoenix One was their management, I believe, and then they were loosely associated or somehow directly associated with Sentinels, and then Sentinels had to pair off because there was money not being sent and all this other bullshit. That's why I just like, as much as I love to see Sentinels do successful things, like it's still off the back of some really scummy shit that I don't even like. I'm not going to go on the record. I don't want any legal
Yeah,
recourse.
might be a good
It just
idea.
doesn't make sense. Yeah, I mean, I just know there was a lot of shitty things that happened. People weren't paid. People weren't given spots, and people that were given spots should probably have not gotten them to begin with. So I take everything with a monochrome of fucking iffiness. Like I just don't mess with people like that.
Yeah,
We know esports too well.
yeah. I mean, even then, like, don't play with the fire; you're gonna get burned, or learn to get through it. Learn to walk through the flames, and that's like really most of esports is like if you're gonna play with fire no matter what. So if you're gonna be playing with fire, you might learn not to cry about it. All right,
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep blowing through these topics 'cause I actually have a lot of them this week. There was a lot going on. Esports World Cup has partnered with Capcom for 4 years. They will be hosting the Street Fighter World Cup the next 4 years. 48 participants coming up this year. Honestly, Esports World Cup, not really a big fan of myself. I don't even remember watching it last year. It just seemed like too much of a money grab, in my opinion. And like you could build off of that if you want, but that's really the way I felt like when I was like looking at the news.
I yeah, I don't. I think there's a lot of controversy within having esports World Cup hosted in Saudi Arabia. Like I'll stand on my morals and principles. Like
Got
even
it.
if it like my morals and principles are not aligned with what I think should be the morals and principles, like I'll correct myself. I think hosting in Saudi Arabia is very, very questionable, especially considering a lot of people from the LGBTQIA plus background are in esports. Or a lot of esports people have an LGBT background,
Yeah.
and a lot of us do smoke and consume weed and alcohol. Mind you, that is not like an indictment on the Saudi culture. Like I'm not here to tell them how to run their culture, but I think at this point in time, if you want to sports wash your culture, um, this is not the way to do it.
Yeah.
Like, we are athletes. We are people that do like we are professionals. We are business people. We have personal lives, and I don't think that it's appropriate to kowtow to essentially an entity that if culture
Ye-
speaking, you're okay with them doing that, then fine. If not, then don't participate. Just don't. That's my answer.
yeah. And even then, like everybody, I don't know. You can't really like judge a person like on their background, and even then, like they're athletes. They're gonna have their own lives outside of the athletics that they're doing. And you are absolutely right. Everybody has their own life on the outside. I mean, hell, you have a lot. Like we both have lives outside of doing this and doing whatever extra work that we're doing too. Like I know you are working hard in production, and I've been working hard trying to like run the restaurant and find a new job.
And yeah, big shout out to you. You are one step closer.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Honestly, come May, I think that everything's gonna pick up. Like even this, like I see this picking up come around like May. Maybe not like astronomical levels, but I know for a fact that I will be able to put a lot more time in and be less exhausted than I usually am. You know?
And I think like we talked about it before, and I kept on pushing it. This is like the time for growth. Spring is the time for growth and
Hmm.
change, and this is kind of the cool position to be in. Is because we're in springtime, because we have these like different feelings and different emotions and different pathways and these opportunities presenting themselves, it feels like you can finally get rid of all the baggage. You can finally
Yeah.
just push forward and just being like, okay, like this is where we're at.
I mean,
Like
even
it's
thinking
okay.
about it, I know you and I personally, like from November until January, you and I were both dealing with shit after shit after shit, you know? Like everything was kind of just falling apart around us. So it's good to finally. It's been warm all week here. And you know, I live in the far Northeast, like the great Northeast of America.
Yeah.
It's fucking cold. It's snowy. It is shit some days. But this week has been incredibly beautiful. And like, it has, I mean, seasonal depression is definitely a severe thing up here in the Northeast, and like I can't really name a person who avoids it well, you know. So when it came to like finally warm weather, and then like good news popping up, and then like just being able to sit through here. I mean, what this is week 7. Like we're almost about to hit
Yeah.
10 weeks straight of doing somehow we manage. You know, this has been like the major like turning point of being able to do what we want to do. So it's been nice, and like being able to improve, and like we'll touch upon this full subject a little bit because I still got a couple things I want to get through, but like being able to
Yeah.
relate my experience in esports and into an actual job is just it's unbecoming. Like I never would have thought of it in my entire life. Well, okay, maybe I wouldn't have thought of it happening anytime soon. You know, I figured I was going to have to do a lot more work to get where I'm trying to get. Quick one that I want to touch upon. Did you see Optic get absolutely destroyed in CDL?
I yes, I heard about that. I didn't see the full news, but I saw on my timelines. Interesting.
They lost, what is it, 15 maps in a row, and today they finally won one map, and they still lost the series though.
I think that was against that's against the Gorillas, right?
I don't remember who it was. Uh, yeah, I just know that they won one map. LAG, Los Angeles Gorillas. Yeah,
Yeah.
who
So
even
who did they lose against? Now I gotta know. Wait,
they lost it. So I mean, 15 maps. So they lost against FaZe yesterday. I'm pretty
okay.
sure. Um, hell, their Halo team even lost against Shopify today for the HCS Cup
Oh,
2. They
like
lost to 100
good up
Thieves.
good ups to Shopify. They've been doing the right thing the whole time, not gonna lie.
Honestly, Shopify is definitely one of peak organizations right now. Like they're doing it pretty right. They have good
And I tell you,
content that you can actually enjoy, and they have a couple of really good streamers that are behind them, you know?
here's the other part which I personally think is great. Um there's no random people from the organization being front facing. Optic, 100 Thieves,
Mm.
Envy, Complexity. I hate to say this, but all the public owners at this point, I think it's really hurting the fucking morale and capability of the organization to push into new spaces because they are big headed. Like, let me say it this way: like, I'm scrolling through Shopify's feed, the Shopify Rebellion.
It's all game
They're
updates and
public,
clips.
yeah, and it has Charlie on the front of it because he's a partial owner of Rebellion now. Good up, like that's a big W for them. And then I also see Space Station Gaming. They were competing against in Halo. Space Station is considered, I think, from all the industry people I've talked to so far, mind you, like my circle is shrinking. Everyone loves the owner of Space Station. From
Sean
everything that I
Garris?
understand, yeah, he has
Yeah.
been a good human being. He is not someone that gets in the way of his organization. He's not a look at me doing so good. type of person. He just lets his teams perform. He lets his organization perform. He lets everyone do their jobs without going, "Oh, guys, we need a next big streamer to show up," or doing some sort of, I don't know, like God forbid you do like a streamer campaign to have 200 people join and only one person gets the spot for a 2-year contract or 1-year contract. That would never happen, right?
Yeah. Actually, I'm wrong about Sean Garris. It's
Oh,
some Sean Doris.
Sean. Oh yeah.
Sean Doris. He has his own show. Like he does a show with his family and like he completely like stays out of the organization's way. Like he'll be there for like events and stuff like that to support the team, but like he's not it doesn't seem like he is making full calls, you know?
No, he. I mean, I know of. I think there is a content creator that does magic like videos, and I think he's like a minority owner because I see him with Space Station merch all the time. He just shouts them out. I think he shouted them out for a little bit. He may no longer be a part of it, or maybe
Mhm.
doesn't associate. But like legitimately, it was such a small plug because he'd wear the hat. He'd mention like, "Oh, they're playing this weekend. Check them out if you want to." Like that. Like that's how to run an org. Like if you're successful, keep your success in that camp and be happy with what you got. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, if it works for him to have hands off, like it's perfect, especially if he's having people like promote when they want to. You know, like it doesn't feel like it's a mandatory job and you have to ruin or not ruin your own content, but like do it no matter what in every single content piece. People are going to want to do it more, you know?
And
Because
I'll even send you a link of how to do it. Like if for everyone else, like check out like if you guys want to scroll down, if anyone's watching this, this is how to actually do esports. If you're going to be a
yeah.
real brand and you want to be a part of high school stuff, make a really good brand, stay morally and ethically above board, go into the collegiate system, the K through 12 system, and do it right.
Mhm.
They made sizzle reels for these kids. They did it the right way. He showed up because he needed to be there. His production was there because they needed to be there. And his team helped them probably learn a lot of stuff. Like, this is what we need.
Yeah.
Full stop. Like, there is nothing else.
Absolutely. And even then, like, I mean, that's kind of going to segue into the don'ts of esports. Envious and native esports partnering. Native esports is staying open while the two teams are partnered, if you didn't know that part.
That I did not hear.
Yep.
That is,
So
well, you know
Deranged
why then.
Native, right, is the name of the owner
Yep.
of Native.
Hmm.
He owns Native and is co-owner now of Envious. My question is how does that not contradict one another?
I mean, there's going to be a lot of rulings coming up.
Mm-hmm.
They, unless they stay in their respective space, um, yeah, they will not be able to participate in tournaments. Um,
So do you think
yeah,
Envious
like
is gonna absorb Native at all, or do you think that
they have to.
they're gonna
They
have
have
to?
to. They're gonna have to at some point. And I don't know what the ramifications will be in the sense of, I mean, it's no different. I mean, to be real, it's no different when United got ate up and then spat out by like along with by Toronto Rebellion, along with what was that other roster? Who did Montreal? Now I have to go to Wikipedia. But it's just it's not good. The answer is it's not good. There is no rhyme, no reason, or capability to be doing this shit. Like it's just bad. It looks really bad on the organizations to be doing this. Like I think I made it pretty clear. I mean, we talked privately about this.
Mm-hmm.
How do I say this nicely?
Put it as nice as you possibly can. We are live.
There is no space as it stands now for this type of behavior outside of esports. Let me say it that way. Because I've been to plenty of conferences. I will be heading to another one, which it's been a shitstorm of trying to plan out. There, there is no place for this type of behavior outside of esports. There will be no partnerships, there will be no equity investments outside of traditional esports. And I almost have that fully confirmed. I need to wait a week and a half for a meeting, and you probably know with who.
I have an idea.
So yeah, you know,
I have an
and you
idea.
know how finicky. Yeah, you know how finicky he can be. So the fact that he is finicky already, um, should speak to the fact that there is no openings. There will be no openings, and
I feel like it just hurts them overall too, because like sponsorships and whatnot are gonna be.
Splice. That was the team. Sorry, Splice and United got acquired.
Wait, is
Yeah,
Splice isn't an organization anymore, right?
Splice is defunct. Yeah, because they're still under Toronto Defiant.
Okay. I was gonna say I wasn't sure if they were still.
Sorry, I just remembered. I saw the name and remembered it.
No, you. Splice. It's Splice. Fuck. No, honestly, I feel like it's gonna hurt them in the long run. Like the partnership, and like yeah, I guess you could share staff and like whatnot, but I'm not gonna lie, both. I mean, Native's been sticking around for a while, but I don't see content coming out of them. I don't see anything
Very
coming
well.
out of them. You know?
I mean, here's the thing. On top of all that, it should be very, very clear at this point. I mean, I'm looking at it now. Socials, like I see a guy that does socials both for Envy Gaming or Envy and Native Gaming, and he's originally from Native Gaming. They are just moving the orgs together, and I don't know what the intent is, and I'm not going to say like I'm not going to give like
Probably best not to
disparaging
speculate it.
intent. Well, I'll speculate it. Fuck it.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a hostile takeover
Ooh.
at some point.
Okay.
I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any possibility of the organization Native Gaming staying as a whole, while Envy literally lurks in the shadows to get more rosters.
Yeah, because they're
Because
just gonna keep picking up. I mean, they're rebuilding, but at the same time, they're rebuilding. I feel like too fast. You know, like if you're gonna be a dead org coming back, like start with your roots and move upwards. You know, and like as much as I don't like the fact that they came back, because like I will fully put this out there, I do not like that Complexity and Envy are back. I don't like it. If they failed, keep them dead. If you want to do something new, do something new. You know? Don't just ride the piggyback of your old dead organization that has what? Okay, 500k followers is not something that I would give up. Jesus Christ.
I mean, here's the fall off though. If I'm looking at everything, like I'm looking at the inconsistent
I see
uh
merger and partnership too,
metric.
by the way. I don't know if you see that wording too.
Oh, yeah. So what I'm assuming is there will be a deadline. Now this will be an assumption. This is just for play and for fun. I think there is a timetable for which full acquisition of Native Gaming and all their liabilities and assets will be acquired by Envy. And that probably will be contingent upon if they can get more investors, if they can get more silent partners. And I think I've made it clear by saying like letting people read between the lines. They're going to have to look in the traditional, sorry, in the esports realm. There isn't opportunities unless there is like traditional sports people that still want to invest, even though they all know it's a bad investment, and they've continued to decide to go with streamers to do their profiteering for trying to get their brand out rather than an organization.
Yep.
Yeah,
I would say, well,
they,
what? You could look to Speed and Kai. Like straight out. Those two have worked with so many different celebrities recently. And
yeah,
that's what they want to do, because I could get one a one-time stream with either of those two, promote the fuck out of my brand, and I will have an extra 20,000 sales by tomorrow.
yeah.
I mean, I might be overestimating, but that's pretty much the demographic you're looking at, and especially if you're using like not using streamers, but using going through the right avenues in order to promote your brand, like finding matching demographics, finding people who would actually have interest in your product, especially streamers who would be interested in what you're selling, and they will just naturally promote it because they're like, "Oh shit, this is so cool! Look at this chat! Look at this chat!" You know, like they will pull out the full streamer reaction.
And like I'm going to be very, very blatant with this too. There is not going to be. I the brand is too young. Number one. Number two, they have too much to actually cultivate out of them. Like not cultivate, to harvest. Let me say it that way. That's a little bit harsher, but gives my full understanding. To harvest out of native gaming,
Mm-hmm.
and then leave it in the dust because their merch isn't selling. I'm looking at their merch. I don't think it's selling as much as they want it to. I'm looking at the pricing for how big the organization is. It's not the target demographic you should be selling to.
My other
It,
thing
it
is like
doesn't.
he got co-ownership of Envy too, deranged in the
Yeah.
deal.
So yeah. So but that my question to you then back. I am okay. Like, are you okay with taking? Like, I don't know what would you give for an organization that is clearly doing well, right? Like, Native Gaming was doing well on
Mm-hmm.
paper. What do you give up to make a deal with someone who wants to make a pact? Let me say that politically correctly. They're giving you a deal, but like, what's the results?
What's the
Like, what's
yeah?
the reality?
What are you giving in order to get this next foothill? You know, and I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie. We don't know because this was literally the last news that we've heard from pretty much either organization. Like Envy's still playing games and like competing, but it's a pinned tweet on their feed, and Native Gaming, it's the last two tweets that they've had, you know, and that was 5 days ago, and they haven't done much else past that. And like 1 2 days, 1 day, 5 days, 3 days, like they were posting consistently. So did everybody all of a sudden switch their tag to the whole
yep.
organization switch their tag to envious and be like, all right, we're gonna focus on envious now? You know,
I think that's. I think you're looking at the closing out of another organization and acquisition process, and I think it. I'll say this out loud. Condemn me for saying this. At this point, Indigenous founded in 2022. That is a true statement. That cannot be taken away, nor should it be taken away. But at this point, what what are those necessary steps? Um,
and how do
I'm
you
going to be very
preserve?
controversial. Yeah. Can I be real? Are you ready?
Yeah.
As someone who is a part of the LGBTQIA plus community, um, I have been an outspoken individual for players, staff members, and a team that I helped raise up. Um, I only helped the women, men, NBs, anyone in between made that team the way it was. They popped off. Amori, who is now on Sentinels, helped run that. Rylini, who I think is also now a Valorant coach, is popping off. They are the amazing people making things happen. They are supporting the LGBTQIA plus community from the inside out. They are doing the things to provide representation and doing the hard work that is necessary to give representation. I am seeing an esports org owned by someone who is Native American. That is not a problem,
Yeah.
and I will leave it at that so the blank space can be filled in with everyone else's speculation because I don't see content. That's my answer, and you can insert what I want to say, but I don't want to say it.
I
Right? Like,
I think I'm reading between the lines a little bit, and yeah, no, I mean, the biggest question is what are they gonna do? Like, we're watching an organization basically being acquired before our eyes, you know, and they're making it not very public, and not to mention like looking at the wording, like reading it over again, it's there's merger, there's partnership in there, and it's like I don't quite understand what you're getting at, you know? Like I don't think it's good. Well, it's not that I don't think it's good. It's just more of like why? It leaves a
So
big ass question mark just
I,
pasted right in the front.
I I have two answers, and that probably is coming from, and it probably from like the answer can only be told by Hastro. It can't be by Deranged Native because I don't think at this point he is the storyteller that you want to ask because that is not the side of the story we're interested in because the organization still exists right now. I think
Yes.
Hastro is the one that has to answer the questions, which is, did you acquire this organization for to gut it and bring over whatever that you can to uplift your organization that is being restarted? And number two, are you now bringing a or if that is true, is there also it could also not be true. Are you also bringing them in to exploit the Native American moniker and the indigenous heritage to just slap onto your brand because you live in Texas and there's some tribes in Texas? Because I will tell you, as someone that has helped represent tribes, almost all the tribes in Southern California, um, that's gross. And I will tell you, tribally speaking, that is not something they like. Um, so I'll say this: when we did a content piece with a group I worked with, we went to like what would be equivalent if you were just some random person, doesn't matter black, white, purple, whatever you are. Um,
Purple.
they literally
One
flew
eye,
in
one
to the
hole.
middle of bumfuck nowhere, Idaho, and did film for them in the middle of Nez Perce. That's the way to actually do content. Sorry, I'm not going to give any more reasons for them to be successful because that train has come and gone. So
And even then, like, no, I can't. How do I put this?
just say it, commit it. No, I'm
No,
not
I
doing it.
can't commit
We
that.
need someone
No,
not to get
listen,
canceled.
I gotta filter the fuck out of myself sometimes. All right, chill out for a
Yeah,
second. My question
we gotta have
is
someone that stays.
Envy and Native. When I think of those two organizations, my thought process is neither of them have anything in common, right? Like
Geolocation.
is that what it is? Is Native in Texas too?
I think in Oklahoma, if I'm correct.
Oh, okay. See, but that's what I'm like confused by is like if that's really the only relation that these two have, why? You know, like other than and this is gonna sound bad and make him paint him as a villain, but other than taking advantage of the fact that it's indigenous owned, why is it this organization? Why not go partner with I don't know, an organization that's winning right now but not and not to mention we've already seen teams like partner on teams, you know, like we had the Cloud9 Beast Coast. There was one building up in Unite, EU orgs, two EU orgs were looking to do a Pokemon Unite team. Didn't end up going through, blah blah blah. But the thing was is like neither I've never seen these two work together. I've never seen them in like the same place as one another. You know, I've never seen them compete against one another. I've never seen them tweet at one another. Like it's basically all of a sudden they existed in together without actually existing together, you know?
Well, I mean that's why I guess I'll say the quiet part that I wanted to say, or the quiet part I didn't want to say. I'll say it out loud. Part one is they have teams and rosters that Envy doesn't. And number two, I think there is going to be an exploitation of the Native American brand that exists within that, and maybe an exploitation of the background. Um, it's the exact opposite of what Space Station's doing. Let me say it that way. Let me put a positive spin on this. Space Station Gaming is in Utah, has been in Utah, has been doing amazing things in Utah. They are partnered, I think, with the Jazz to a certain extent, or they've done outreach with the Jazz. They've worked with K through 12 schools. They're in the school districts. They're in the colleges. Like
And they're actually
they're
doing
doing
stuff.
grassroots.
They had a whole stadium filled pretty much, or a whole high school
Yeah,
stadium filled at least. So
yeah, and
I
they're
am gonna
doing
correct you on
production.
one thing.
Shoot.
Native has an Apex team. Envy has an Apex team. Riddle me that.
So they're going to disqualify one of them if they end up being in that direction.
That's fucked up. Like, and that they're basically just gonna ruin 3 to 4 people's careers. Not careers, but like just be like, all right, you're suddenly gone. Once again, the shitty part of esports is like at any moment somebody could pull the rug out from underneath you. And like that's what really sucks about esports is that you never have a stable ground to stand on. You got to be always on your toes, constantly watching around you to make sure that you are doing the proper stuff and making other people happy. And it's like, why not make yourself happy? You know? And that might just be like my mentality recently, but make yourself happy, you know? Don't be sitting there stressed out if you're one bad match away from losing your whole entire career, you know?
Oh, 100%. I that's why I'm just taking a stance at this point where um
Something doesn't
just
feel
like
right. Something just doesn't feel right.
I mean that's why I am taking the position I am. That's why privately we talked the way I did
Yeah.
because I
I think I'm understanding
like
what you sent about that text earlier, by the way, when I questioned you.
oh,
I'm understanding now. Give it to, like, run it, you know?
yeah.
I understand. Even then, like,
Yeah.
is that really. It really comes down to, like, your own personal morals, you know? Like, is that. Are you going to be in there to make sure that nothing bad happens, or are you going to be in there to make sure it works?
Yeah. I'm at a point now where with this week of growth and change, I've made it very clear to myself and I feel very happy with this position of just saying fuck it. Like uh the amount of random stuff that's getting involved in esports just isn't worth the time outside of reporting on it and giving it a really good honest look and giving a really honest response because I really don't think people are ready to give honest responses.
Yeah. I mean, even then, like, I mean, I'll be honest, I filter myself a little bit on this show, at least, just because, like, I want, I want Hastro to come onto this podcast and sit here and argue with us back and forth. Honestly, I would like to, like, sit down with anybody who really, like, has anything that we've said, like, they want to go against us. Fucking be my guest, you know? That that's like the best thing that I could do because if you want to clear the air, you shouldn't be afraid to speak in front of other people, you know?
No matter how big or small, that's my answer. Like I I had plenty of people. I went to an event this weekend where it was literally one of the first and will probably be one of the only uh, consumption lounges in San Diego. Hopefully, we'll be able to work with them soon. Um,
Ooh.
delay after delay. Gotta love it.
Our life is full of
Literally,
delays, Sam.
literally people were walking up, giving their pitches to this like the only consumption lounge for their product and other stuff, and like there were some small businesses and one like I won't disclose it because it's mine. I'm not gonna let anyone else take it. George already knows, but
Yeah.
like
Sam's doing big things,
they
boys and girls. Sam is doing big things. He's a big boy. He's a big boy behind the scenes.
trying to trying to. So are you. So are you, brother. Big ups for you. But like they shot their shot because they knew what they need to do to be successful, and that's great. And but they had the product, they had the experience, and they had everything ready to go. If you are like that, I'm gonna be real. Like we're in the middle range of that where we're just kind of flying by the seat of our pants. But
Mm.
we have our stream working, we have our audio queued, we have our video set. we don't run by a script. I have some notes personally, but like
It's all just
I
notes. Like
give you
I'm showing stream right now. Like I've got notes. That's all it is. It's little anecdotes that I want to talk about throughout the stream, you know? That's as scripted as you get.
so it shouldn't be in a situation where, this I don't know the exact numbers and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to disclose it. So I'll just say there's a lot of money in this institution that's being built in National City to just smoke marijuana and chill. It's a lot. And yet they're still talking to people like the company I was talking to and possibly going to be working with. Definitely trying to invest into at least. Um, but they're also talking to me, some, nobody from the gaming side that is just doing executive producing for a couple of people. Um, Shout out to Nori, love her. But
Boss woman,
yeah, she's boss woman, she's boss lady.
boss
But
lady. I was
that
trying to find
that
the freaking word. I couldn't find the freaking word.
but that to me is that direction. Like they still had conversations with me. This business, this consumption lounge, they're talking to this other business that's small and up and coming. Um, and then they also turn their noses up, like they did turn their noses up at larger brands, and they turned their noses up at random people that just walked in tried to sell them snake oil,
Hmm.
and that's their decision. My point back to what we were talking about is Hastro, Hex, Jason Lake, um, Deranged Native, like all these people. Um, like I won't even call out Space Station because he's doing it right. Like you probably literally see him on the street, ask him for an interview, and he'd probably give you 5 minutes at least.
Oh yeah, no, and that's crazy for an owner. Like I feel like I'll be honest, Shondoris, you know what? I definitely feel like I could walk up to him on the side of the street, be like, "Hey, I love what you're doing, like whatever," and he would actually have a genuine conversation with me. I'm afraid of Hex. I'm afraid of Nade Shot. Like I feel like they would all turn their nose up at me just
Well,
because I'm nobody, or they would think it's
how
just a
about
fan who wants to just get a picture real quick.
this side quest with Sam? When I was in Overwatch, I was doing it professionally, and I was back. I had been kicked down the stairs a little bit after my first team that I got successful off the ground. Um, I was back with my mentor Onassis, and he and I were in a public call, public private call in the OW back when it was private, like it was the professional Discord, so anyone that was professional was supposed to be in there, and I sure as hell shouldn't have been in there, but um, I
You got
literally got
in.
talked to, huh?
You got in.
I got in, I got in, I got lucky.
We made it, boys.
Thanks, Onassis. But I got to talk to Reggie from TSM, and we had this huge argument about like, is it better to have a team environment that is like buddy buddy, even though the team may suck, or would it be better to just have a team that wins that doesn't necessarily like hang out afterwards?
Mm.
And like he said some very choice words to me that I cannot repeat on this podcast, but like that set a tone, and I think I told you about that in the exact words he called me, but
I don't think you did, but honestly, I'm interested for after stream.
I'll tell you. I'll ignite your memory, but that that made it completely unapproachable. And then I go back to like someone who will not be named until they're interested in coming on. Like we'll call him T. He uh
D.
he literally would just be like I asked him, hey, can I ask a question? He already hit me with the you asked one question, so why not another? Like it's a hit and miss in esports, and I'd rather see people like there's going to be good days and bad days. I'd rather see us hit 8 and 10. You know, if we go 8 and 10 every day, that's a win.
Yeah, I mean, even
I
then,
want to
like,
see more of that.
I'll even like touch upon the podcast itself too. Is it's you and I have a lot of experience in this industry at like a low level, and even then, like touching like high tier competitive esports. So this podcast is really more of just a teaching tool for everybody who wants to get involved or who wants to have an idea, and like you could take our experiences and run with them. Honestly, like if you hear that you and I both went through something, or like whoever's watching like went through something, whatever, share it, or even like it's more about the truth of esports. This is the ugly truth of esports, is kind of what I feel like about this podcast. It's fun. Like, I'm not going to lie, I had the best 10 years of my life, but I've also had some of the worst 10 years of my life. And like, I'm here to tell everybody and teach individuals that like there's good and there's bad, and you got to look for the good in the bad. And if you want to keep the mentality, if you want to keep trying to push forward and propel forward, I'm not gonna lie, I've given up 4 times now. I've retired. Damn, we're up to 5 now, Sam. God damn it.
Up to 5.
I fucking I just told I just put my time in for team growth. I'm not gonna lie. I just dropped. I can't keep doing the esports shit, man. You and I were talking about this before, but the podcast, but I'm not gonna lie, touching grass is a lot fun. Doing stuff with people that you love and doing stuff that like you love, and like I'm trying to turn gaming back into like what it used to be for me. Like I get so frustrated at video games now because I'm not competitive, and it's like, why do I have to be competitive? You know? Why do I have this like feeling that I have to be the best of the best? I don't want that anymore. I don't want that feeling anymore. So like I've turned to a lot of casual gaming, a lot of stuff like that, cuz it's just more of it's better on your mentality. I've completely gone off the rails.
No, no, but that is like that was kind of the point today is like this idea of growth and
Mhm.
like at some point the magic gets lost
Mhm.
while working way too hard on stuff,
I mean,
especially when you're making it something that it's not.
beginning of January, that was where I lost it. I don't want to like make you feel bad, but beginning of January, I lost it. I was done,
I
pretty
know.
much.
I yeah, and I remember that. I mean, the same thing with me. Like, my biggest mistake, and I said this to a good friend of mine. Um, Maybe we'll have them on. They're amazing. Um,
Do I know who you're talking about?
you worked with them a little bit.
Okay.
I'll update you after, but they
Oh.
are.
Okay, I think I might know.
I think you might. Um, my biggest thing was like, I went through everything because they went through everything. Um, oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure. It was one or
So
the two. I
yeah,
had 50-50
yeah.
shot.
So let me say it this way. Um, there are people that I like doing business with, and there's people who I like just being around. And sometimes those can commingle. Like you, like I can 100% talk business. The fact that you talked me down investing into a team yet to be named. I know we talked about it, but I will, for the records, I will not say it again. Um, we can talk business and we can talk like personal stuff, but there's a level that like some people I just can't talk business with. But this person who I was talking to, they're amazing, and I went over everything because they went over everything. Like we both have really gone through it, and I'm like, shit, like it's time to just really realize what was lost trying to do these projects, what was genuinely lost in trying to create these connections.
Mhm.
And I know everyone put in the work they needed to for them, but it wasn't necessarily the work that was needed for the projects.
Yep.
So like I'm glad that with that like step back and that recognition, there is this deep breath and release of all the bullshit.
Mhm. Well, and even like come after January, like I definitely like not even after January, mid January, because like what? I'm gonna out you a little bit, but you were MIA until like basically the week of my birthday or like the week before.
Yeah.
And then from there it was you and I were both I think you and I both like read off each other that we were both like done, at that point. Cause it was just like I'm not saying it was like heart wrenching, but it was definitely like we all put in hard work. Like I know you put in hours, I know I put in hours, I know that Clay and oh god, Carson.
Carson.
Yeah, put
Yeah.
in words. Like put in work. Like we all put in work and it ended up just not being in our favor, which honestly, most esports projects they don't end up in your favor. Unless you are one of the
No.
top 1%, they are not going to end up in your favor. And that's okay. You know, like it's not always going to work and like it's going to suck, and especially if you invested your own money into it, it's really going to suck. But I I'm not going to say you can't make it, but I'm going to say it's going to be a long journey, especially if you're starting from the ground level. Which I mean, I mentioned a little bit. Honestly, I said it fucking with envious is that why not just like do a new brand and like reset, but at the same time, I wouldn't give up 500k followers. I wouldn't be able to give that up too easily.
I mean, they essentially are with acquiring native,
Mhm.
and I think that's kind of like the one thing that makes me a little bit hopeful is you have someone who has been endemically in esports for a long time in Hastro. He's seen the rise and fall of them, many of them,
He's been a
many
part of that rise
empires.
and fall. He was strictly a part of that basically.
He Yeah, and he probably did it too because his team owned Dallas Fuel. And I don't know if he acquired the rights to Dallas Fuel.
He
I'm
did.
assuming he probably did.
Yeah, Dallas Fuel
But
and
even at
Dallas
that,
Empire.
that doesn't seem quite right or doesn't sit quite right with me because that doesn't what does that actually do for the industry? They're both dead brands. Overwatch is in a different space. It's much more grassroots. There will not be another Dallas Empire. There will be no like Lag or LA Gladiators. There will be no Valiant. There will like San Francisco Shock. Those don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Even using the moniker of FaZe Atlanta or Atlanta FaZe was gross in my mind. Like it's I'm glad there is some fresh beginnings, and I'm hoping maybe the new blood will teach the old blood their sins that they've done. But I'm not going to hold my breath.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't. I think you have a repatriated um, esports old head in Hastro, and you have a very fresh, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed owner in Derange Native, and I don't see. I mean, prove me wrong, but I don't see where they can commingle successfully without running into a lot of issues in the sense of what they are trying to do to avoid another esports collapse. Because it's just going to happen.
and I mean it's gonna happen, and not to mention like I, I'll be honest, like I'm gonna list off a few organizations that I'm not gonna lie. If there's another esports collapse, they're pretty much safe. You know, Spatiation's safe. Sentinels is probably safe. Uh, can't say 100 Thieves because honestly, I don't think that they're that safe.
They're one controversy away from dying. I'm going to be real.
Yeah, Luminosity. Honestly, that's old guard money. That's organizations never dying.
They have
Shopify is probably safe.
Shopify. Okay, yeah, I like it. That's smart.
I think Shopify would be safe. And there's one more I'm trying to think of. Nouns. Nouns is safe.
Okay, what about Liquid?
Liquid. That's old guard money. I didn't include them in. I just listed
Well,
five. There's a
it's
sixth
not even old
one.
guard. I'm gonna be real. It's not even old guard. Are you ready? It's Disney money.
Oh yeah, no,
Dis-
Disney's not gonna let that shit die at all.
But yeah,
Wait,
no, I think you have a
Disney's
solid
also
core.
partnered
I
with
think
Sentinels too, aren't they?
no, they are not.
No.
They have
Okay.
they are if they are partnered, it's purely for like
It.
merchandising.
I think they did have a merch line drop, but I think that was about it.
Yeah, because again, conflict of interest. Um you can't own okay, that would be like if Jerry Jones bought out or had a minority ownership stake in the Patriots.
Yeah.
You can't be doing it. That's the answer. You shouldn't be doing it.
Did you hear
And
that
then
LeBron was
for
trying to
third,
buy the Celtics or the Red Sox?
good luck with that. Oh well, the Red Sox, he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he was trying to buy the Red Sox.
I mean, good for him. Like, I think that's actually a good thing. Like, I'm not trying to be facetious at all. Like, I'm good.
I'm a big Boston
Good.
fan over here, so except for the Patriots, we don't talk about the Patriots. Honestly, even during the Tom Brady era, I was not a Patriots fan. Crucify me. I live in this area, and honestly, I was not a Patriots fan either.
So I am concerned. Are you so you're definitely not a the ball is flat type of person, are you?
I don't care if the ball was flat or not. Honestly, that guy was really good at the game. Like that's really all I'm gonna say. Because I'm not gonna lie, if a ball was flat and he was still throwing the ball like he was, fuck, yeah, that's insane. Because it still affects your throw.
Oh yeah.
So like, no, if the ball was genuinely flat, he was throwing the fucking ball the way he was throwing it during that Super Bowl. Nah, that man's goated. Like as much as I don't like Tom Brady, but I respect him. I respect the fuck out of that man. He tried his fucking damnedest and deserved everything that he won. As much as people will complain, he was just it was the better team at the time. Like now we're entering another era of the fucking Chiefs, but you can't deny it. Like he was just a good fucking athletic individual. Like Tom Brady was an athlete. He was the athlete at the time. Hell, I think
Yeah.
he could still go back out there and still be the athlete.
You think so?
I do think so. Honestly, that dude said he was retiring to the Patriots, went over to Tampa Bay, won a Super Bowl, and then left. And now he's looking to own the Las Vegas Raiders after his contract with Fox ends.
Oh, true. You're right. You're right. Okay.
Nothing says that man's not going to walk back on that field, you know? He's
I
going to
mean,
own the Raiders,
I
take over fucking Carr's spot. Actually, it's Sam Darnold now. They just signed Sam Darnold. So, nah, nothing says that he can't, in his contract, that he can't just walk it back out in that field.
I mean, I am interested. I want to. I know he technically has a minority stake in the Raiders right now. I just was talking to a friend today about Tom Brady,
So he's got
so I
10
wouldn't be
years on
surprised.
Fox, and then he's got, after that, I don't think he's re signing up, and he's just going to go own the Raiders.
Good. I think that's a good thing. I think that's a great thing. Um, yeah, I'll just say it. I think it's a great thing. I think that's a good step forward.
But yeah, I mean, he's just that athlete, especially in football. Like, and here's the thing: like, I talk Shroud up all the time. Like, I'll be honest, I will talk that man up just because like he's a genuine dude. At least I feel like if like I were to meet him in person, he's just a chill, laid back kind of person. Shroud could come back into any sport and honestly do well. He's just that kind of esports athlete. He just is. He can play any game, can understand it to a tactical level, and play it at a high skill level. And you don't get that very often. Like the last like multi athlete that I can think of is Bo Jackson. And that was what, the 80s?
Yeah, that's a pretty good chunk ago.
Yeah. I mean, that's almost 40 years at this point. Even then, like,
I mean, I guess you could technically say Michael Jordan because he played baseball, but I don't look at his don't look at his
okay,
history
is his
against
baseball stats as relevant?
Yeah, that's what I was about. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
But even then, like thinking about it, fuck. I want to get into like sports pretty badly. I'm gonna go on a small tangent, but there's just been this like huge wave. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called Banana Ball.
No.
So it's a version of baseball, but basically it's geared and centered around content creation, and I think that that's perfect for sports. You know,
Yeah.
it's an entertainment industry and they're making it more entertaining. There's no pitch or there's no you can't step out of the box. There's like dance breaks. There's like weird little mini games that they do. There's trick shots that you can do that like behind the back throw to first base is equal to an out plus like a strike on the next pitcher.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
They've changed the game to make it entertaining, and like I don't know if you really like looked at the news recently, but they just sold out an NFL stadium.
That is insane. Well, I love that though. That's awesome.
And like that's what I'm saying is like reinventing isn't bad. If you want to Shroud, you're a content creator now. Like you want an esports team, reinvent it. You know, like make something new. Like let's start like getting a lot more promotions from the content side. Like let's get your whole team into a lobby with you. You know, like let's start reinventing the wheel because I'm not going to say it works every time, but at the same time, it's bound to do you well. You know, it can't hurt. But then again, I go back to the Epic Games versus Steam issue. You know, I don't know if you know what I'm kind of hinting at, but
Yeah, no, I'm catching what you're putting down.
nobody wants the issue with gamers and like I'm gonna rope us all together as a whole. I really like Steam. Like Steam is really easy to use. I can see all of my games in one library. I can message all my friends in one spot. I can invite friends to games in one spot. Like, yeah, Epic's got all that, but I'm not going to lie. I would rather still use Steam because I've been using it for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
We're creatures of habit, and I think that's the issue with a lot of like esports and sports in general is that we all expect things to happen and that's kind of become the norm for all of us. We just expect it to happen and then it happens and it's like, okay, well that was cool. You know? I think we're faking it. Like I'll be honest, I'm faking it. I watch tournaments all the time and it's like nothing new. Like, yeah, it's a new game or yeah, the game's cool, but it was close match, but at the same time like it was the same, you know? We don't do show matches anymore. We don't do like Dota 2 I think did the best show match that I've ever seen 2 years in a row. It was the first year was they picked two teams. It was Slacks versus Kai P, I think. And they basically drafted their own teams of all the professional players that were over at TI and they just played Dota. But the second year, you know what they did? They did a hero release during the show match. And one of the players got to randomly play the new hero.
That's cool.
And that was interesting. That actually piqued my interest. I went straight to Dota 2 hoping the hero was available. If I'm going to be honest. And like that was just good marketing. And I don't think anybody's really doing good marketing. We're all kind of used to the same old, same old. Granted, if you ever watch a football game with me, I will complain left and right about the commercials. Like, I will say I hate commercials left and right. But that's because they try too hard. Like, give me. I don't know if you've seen the commercial, but like Limu Emu from
Yep.
Infinity or Liberty Mutual.
Liberty Mutual. Yeah.
That is the most outlandish shit that I have ever seen in my life. And I'm not going to lie, it's not entertaining. It's not. I don't understand like how people can get roped into that or how like it's fun to watch for others, you know? And then I go back to esports and it's like I don't see any show matches. I don't see any interesting things going on. I don't see it's just game 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 game. Wait 10 minutes in between each game. Even then I'm giving them usually it's like 20 minutes in between each game. And it's like, give me some sort of entertainment. Don't give me another ESL shop commercial. You know? I get you.
Yeah.
I get you got to promote your stuff. And like, don't be wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like, you have to promote what you are selling. Because if you want to make money, that's pretty much where you're going to get most of your sales is through merch. But at the same time, give me the one esports athlete that is willing to sit in front of a camera for hours and just shoot the shit with whoever is interviewing him. Give me like a weird 1v1 mini game that two players have to play to, I don't know, just for bragging rights. There isn't enough of that. This isn't an entertainment industry. Make it entertaining, because nobody's gonna want to be able to want to buy your product if it's not entertaining.
100%. So I just dropped you a link,
Oop.
and if you want to scroll all the way to the bottom, and can already tell there is blood in the water. And when I mean scroll to the bottom, for the transfers
Transfers.
list, notice something very important towards the bottom. You'll notice all the pickups.
No way. Really?
You see Fnatic.
Yeah. Dropped
I
already?
think they know. I think they know. Um, I think realistically, EU viewership for this game is going to be terrible,
Yeah.
and I think NA is going to see a major fall off afterwards. Because if I'm
EMEA. What
looking,
is the EMEA region?
that is
Europe.
East,
Okay.
um, Middle East, or yeah, Europe, Middle East, Asia. Um,
What was the reason for the
so like,
huge thank you representing CMM Rivals, and we appreciate their efforts in third place finishing their short-term contract with us. We will continue to follow the game and work with the ecosystem and assess future investment opportunities. We wish the team all the best as they move into season 1. Yeah, they basically said, yeah, this isn't going to make money. Bye.
and like when we were talking about the top teams that you think that would stay in, I think
Fnatic is
that is a
definitely
very
on
North
there.
American. No offense, I think that's a very North American view, and I think that's a good thing because it gives us a very close and quick analysis as to what's going on. But if you want to pop on, and I will send you the link, you can announce how many viewers they have for an esports game that is supposed to be beating a Valorant, beating a League of Legends, competing against Call of Duty.
That's rough.
So that's the main channel.
Yeah,
Mind you, they are partnered with Shroud. They are technically partnered with Sinatra. We'll see how you like. I mean, I don't think that that's appropriate, but you know, people are allowed to grow, especially if like, especially if you are still embroiled in controversy. I mean, you should be allowed at least some.
but even
Let
then,
people
like,
decide.
dude, that hurts. Seeing that number kind of hurts, especially. Hold on, browse.
So Shroud, giving some perspective, Shroud is polling about 19,000 people. Sinatra is polling 7.8. Super TF or Super from Overwatch days is polling 7.3.
But the main channel is hurting.
The Yep. And Super isn't even on a team. I don't think he's technically playing in the tournament. XQC on an unnamed platform is pulling 16,000 viewers.
I'm not gonna lie. I've
Well,
been I've been thinking about that unnamed platform. I'm not gonna lie to you, Chief.
I mean, I am completely fine with unnamed platform. I just don't like to advocate for a bunch of it because it's just the fact I do work with Native Americans, the fact that they do kind of it's competing territory, I will say.
Uh,
It's just because of the ownership
got it.
of the platform. Other than that, like if you're 21 and older and you want to go to like hang out with the Native Americans and go to their casinos, completely fine. I'm not advocating for that. Please do it, in a healthy fashion. But yes, that is
Got
my
it.
answer.
But even yeah, and
I'm
even
good with it
then,
though.
like you, the issue I have, yeah, Shroud pulling 20K viewers, like that's just Shroud things. That's all he does. But at the same time, like, is that really helping your partner, like your end of the partnership, if you are from Marvel Rivals perspective? Because
I
you
mean,
get monetization from your own stream.
yeah. I will say this. Are you ready? I think that if Super is streaming and you're technically a partner in this, meaning he gets drops, he gets the ability to be like shown higher up in the algorithm. Um, there could be a little bit of funny business happening in the background. Having 7,000 viewers while the tournament is happening, while also Shroud is streaming, feels a little baked to me. Um,
Oh, because he's not even
but
streaming the tournament.
yeah, so if I am Marvel Rivals, I'd be like, cut the fucking stream, cut the drops. Like, you can still stream, we just don't want you to have drops while playing, like
Because
while the tournament
he's
is happening.
pulling 7K viewers away from that main stream.
Shroud, anyone.
Yeah. And there's
It
your
literally,
there's your 7K viewers who are not interested in esports at all.
and that should say volumes. And that's not even including the fact that like Shroud people may be just watching for Shroud.
Yeah, I mean, Marvel Rivals currently is pulling more views than League of Legends, but League of Legends doesn't have a tournament going on right now.
It doesn't, and that's a major
Valorant
thing.
doesn't
At
have a
seven,
tournament going on right now. Like I'm looking at the top
yeah.
20 games right now.
Uh, Rainbow Six has 56,100
It's right behind them, and
views.
there's no tournament going down. Half these
I
streamers
mean, a
aren't
lot of
even
them
streaming
are
Rainbow
Jinxie.
Six.
A lot of them are Jinxie, who is streaming, but he's a major content creator. Do not discount content creators in this at all. There's a French content creator right now streaming in French with 2.3K viewers. Good. I'm happy. Like, this is good. Like, dude, I am happy that this is happening.
It also, I mean, this is one of the subjects that I did want to touch on was Siege X. It also might be the hype of that, so we'll have to see what comes after Siege X, you know? Because it could be another issue with Rainbow Six where it's really interesting in the beginning and then all of a sudden it's no longer interesting to the regular viewer, you know? And I think that's a lot of where a lot of these esports kind of struggle is that you got to make it interesting for the regular viewer too. Cuz like when I go into Twitch, my first thought isn't let me go see what tournaments are playing right now. My first thought is, "Hey, is so and so streaming right now?" People have their favorite streamers or have their favorite content creators that they watch. And like, yeah, unless you're a diehard esports person, like you're not you're looking for entertainment. And like these guys who I go to put on an entertaining show for 5 to 8 hours at a time.
Yep.
Compared to I can watch a Marvel Rivals tournament for what 5 6 hours. It's gonna be yeah, it might be close, yeah, it might be fun, but at the same time, like, oh shit, Jinxie's streaming now. What's Jinxie up to? Or what's my favorite streamer up to? You know, a lot of people can click off almost in an instant. And I think that's where like Shroud is doing well is that he makes his streams entertaining and he is like us knowledgeable enough about the scene and knowledgeable about like competitive side where he can make it interesting for his viewership. While also, I mean, I love Shroud. He's a big goofball. You know, he's a funny dude. He says some random ass shit that I'm like, what did he just say? You know?
That that's what we need. Like that like, and I'm even gonna post this. Are you ready?
Mm.
I want now. I have checked it to make sure it wasn't a bug, but it looks like a fucking virus site.
Oh God. What the heck?
So look at the metrics of it. Look at the responses to it. I'm not going to speak directly to it, but it is an unnamed organization. We were just talking about them a little while ago, but it's literally the equivalent of what would be considered what the original Patreon and before OnlyFans became porn, um, you
Bro,
wanted to be.
I can't even view anything without a fucking membership. What the fuck?
Yeah. So look at all the responses. You can kind of metricize. So if anyone doesn't know, like for all the SEO people that are interested in doing this, if you look at responses and interactions, on platforms, you can kind of determine how well the content is doing. Um,
Not even to mention, all of these are from a month ago, and only the past 1, 2, 3, 4. Those guys were probably forced to post. All from the
so in
past
a lot
month.
of these, if you notice, there is a bracketed early access. That has the highest amount of responses for a normal post.
Yeah, what the fuck? This is wild. I didn't even know this was it. What the fuck am I looking at right now?
This
1 year
is
ago,
probably the
5 days
biggest
ago,
one.
8 and 12 interactions. So what? 20 interactions total. 1 week
I'm
ago,
looking at the highest. The way I
49.
view this is I look at the highest impression. So like if it's a heart, that is probably 35 individuals doing it, but an individual may also add a popcorn or a someone with the glasses or something like that. Like I'm taking it the highest metric and determining that that is the most amount of people that responded, not a collective number, which is safe.
But even then, like, I'm looking at their highest metric right now that I see was a year ago, right?
So
Or am I wrong
yeah,
here?
no, that is. I'm looking at it. Yeah. So
Yeah, and that's been given a year to marinate and like get interactions to it, you know?
I was literally scrolling through one of the players that is on that roster, and they forced them to put that on their Twitch profile. None of them are making content. All they are is streaming. I am sorry. Like this has been a love or hate, and it's who you think it may be because you know what I sense. Um,
I didn't even know this was their
they don't do
website.
anything. They don't do anything but stream. They don't make content. They probably have an editor for their YouTube videos. Let
But
me
even
see
then,
when their
what is their
most recent.
YouTube? I'm gonna say, what does their YouTube
Five
look like?
days ago. 5 days ago is when they last posted. 13 days ago is when they last posted after that. 1 month ago was, oh my God. Like, so how, like, why are you forcing, like, I'm assuming it's a force because if they didn't force this person to do it, look at their channel.
Oh,
The
you sent me.
inconsistency in posting. Yeah. It,
13,
I'm
one
liking the
month,
Marvel
one
Rivals
month.
content. But then random 13 days ago about joining their roster, and then 5 days ago about some video. So to me, if I'm Sentinels or if I am that person, this benefits nobody. Like this really benefits no one because they're not making content for cents on the dollar. Uh, other than that, I'll leave it at that. So I
Yeah,
don't know. It just feels very stupid.
even then, like, I will say, okay, wait, I need to find this real quick because you do need this little bit of information because that person is a 6-time Marvel Rivals winner right now.
I know. I do follow them. I do keep a track.
Okay, I was gonna say. Plus, they had a pretty decent interview.
I mean, so here's my response. They literally got their ass handed to them today. Like they
True.
got 0-2'd.
Oh, did they?
Going from yep.
Oh gosh. I don't
So
know. I'm looking at all these teams picks. Like we're. I mean, at this point, we've come to a Marvel Rivals esports compilation here. Because yeah, this is like I just don't understand where is like the content? Where is what's really gonna bring people in? Because like I'm looking at the names like on these rosters right now, and it's just like, yeah, you might know them from Overwatch, but what made you stop watching for Overwatch? You know?
oh, sorry, excuse me. They got 2-1, by the way. 2-1 against 100 Thieves with a bunch of no names from the scene. And mind you, they're probably really good at the game. I'm not going to call them no names just for out of nowhere, but they legitimately have no, yeah, they have no placement outside of Marvel Rivals. So good pickup by 100 Thieves.
Did you see that Formal from 100 Thieves put that recommendation in for 100 Thieves to pick up that roster?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
That's good though.
Formal put a tip into Nate and said that you should pick up this Marvel Rivals team. So the new Marvel Rivals 100 Thieves was all because of Formal, actually.
Good. I mean, like, I don't like a little bit of the nepotism in the industry, but um, I think it's a good step forward for them to actually pick up rosters that are going to win and not hold out for 2 years on a Valorant roster that never performs. Not because they aren't trying super, super hard, because they really weren't, but also because the scene wasn't growing. I think that's rough to begin.
The
Oh, yeah.
Wait, President and COO John Robinson transitioning to advisor, three long time company executive promoted, coordinated executive transition. 100 Thieves just went through a whole fucking leadership transition. I don't know if you knew that. I didn't know this.
I those are one of those teams that makes my blood boil. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, Nade moved to an advisor position,
I mean, one could speculate as to why.
and they gave the spot to somebody else.
So I don't even know. So do you have the post so I can look at it?
Yeah. You'll have to. It's a post. You'll have to read it, but yeah,
No, that's fine.
it was a whole thing. Yeah, so Nate Shot and the other owner moved down to an advisor position. Oh no, Nate Shot didn't move down.
Co-owner of 100 Thieves. So Valk is also a co-owner.
All right, wait. I have to use the bathroom while you do this.
You're
Side
good.
quest with Sam.
I am checking all this out. Yeah, SideQuest with Sam. I am checking out, if y'all want to follow along on the other screen, I am reading the post from Jacob Toft Anderson. I hope I am pronouncing his name correctly. I'm not going to do any judgment as it stands right now because I'm just, like a fine wine, I'm just checking this out to begin with. We'll do this. I will mess up on the reading of this as George is gone, but we can read along with Sam. President COO John Robinson transitioning to advisor, three long time company executive promoted in coordinated executive transition. Oh my god, this is a paragraph. I'm not reading this to everyone. Founding executive Robinson will be transitioning to advisor of the company, stepping into a leadership position, lead the business alongside the co-founder and CEO Nate Shot. The company is promoting three key members: John Tunn, formerly CFO; John Toff Anderson, formerly SVP of esports, has been promoted to president; and Julie Van, former SVP, Senior Vice President of People, has been promoted to Chief Operating Officer, COO. Um,
I didn't even know this was going on. I'm back, by the way. The fact that we need a
Welcome
segment
back.
called Side Quest with Sam is crazy. The amount of times I leave.
No, it's good. I am doing my really bad reading for everyone
I
aloud.
didn't even read this at
Um,
all.
I'm incredibly proud. The company is strong position to continue to succeed as a
Leader in
leader in
esports and
esports and
gaming
culture and
culture.
gaming. Yeah, I want to thank the board and Matt for their partnership over the last 6 years and share my enthusiasm for the next leadership team. They've also have the vision and experience to take 100 Thieves to new heights. Oh, the Nade shot. I'm looking for the Nade shot quote. Oh my God, there's so many paragraphs. I want to thank John. Tireless efforts, 6 years we've accomplished together, exceed my expectations. I
Winning
also couldn't be
championships.
more excited for Jason, Jacob, Julie for taking on new expanding roles to help continue to be the best esports gaming organization in the world. Our core focus within the winning championships and making great content and apparel is unchanged.
Yeah, but even then, like,
No,
this is kind of feels like all fluff. You know, I'm judging
okay,
immediately.
this
I'm judging
actually
immediately.
hold on. This is actually important. Are you ready? Notably, 100 Thieves is also coming off a strong first quarter in 2024. In January, the company announced a new partnership with Adidas Originals, the first of its kind in esports. In February, the company extended the partnership with both AT&T and Lexus and also released a record-breaking apparel collaboration with 100 Thieves plus Pokemon.
That
Now,
bomber jacket did better than we thought.
I so I don't know if it's just fluff talk. I don't know if it's actual legalese. I'm assuming they had to be very careful with this statement. 100 Thieves plus Pokemon. Now, this might be because of the acquisition of some of the branding that Pokemon did, but notice how it's not 100 Thieves partnership with
Yeah,
Pokemon. It's a collaboration, and
collaboration.
it's 100 Thieves plus Pokemon, not X Pokemon. And usually that is a now kind of a legalese definition, like modern day, for saying that it was a partnership. This was them acquiring the licensing to be able to do it. It wasn't. It was them going, pretty please, can we use your product? And them saying, yes, give us $1 million and you'll be allowed to use our product. And if it
Huh.
goes well, we'll continue to do it. That's the way I'm reading this.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Huh. Damn. I don't. 100 Thieves is one of those organizations, like you said, that, I mean, it gets your blood boiling, but it's like, I don't understand 100 Thieves. And it's what I worry about with what Shroud's doing. You know, a popular gaming player or athlete and then turned streamer, you know? Where does it go from there? Cuz like clearly like 100 Thieves isn't struggling, but they definitely are like this is going to be fucking rude to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway, so I don't have a filter right now, but a second rate tier 1 organization is the best way that I could think to put it.
Yeah, I.
Notice they weren't in that list. Like I named 5 and you added Liquid on there, and I'm going to fucking stick with Liquid on there cuz honestly Liquid
Yeah,
sticks around. But they're not on that
I think
list.
they. Yeah, I think they're literally a zombie. They only exist for the fact that they have flesh, blood, and like the damn will to live, like unholy or not, right? Like
Yeah.
I appreciate what Liquid has done. I can respect what LG has committed to, although you that was not on your list.
LG was
Your
like
list
third
is
on my list.
nearly perfect, huh?
LG was third on my
What LG
list.
list? Oh, my bad. Yeah, like I don't. Ah, like I don't see this. I see, like I'm reading through his actual like tweet. An exciting and formidable challenge to do my part in leading the company. Yeah, this is weird the way he worded this. An exciting and formidable challenge to do my part in leading the company into its new era. Was brought into the company by John and Matt 5 years ago, and have enjoyed every minute of soaking in and learning from both of them and for people around us. I am approaching this with a ton of humility for being entrusted with the responsibility of a brand and company I truly love, excitement getting to this with people and a path that we were on, and confidence built from the journey and years of experience leading to this. John has been the best steward I could have hoped for in our wild ride, a mentor and a friend, and I am thankful to have had my corner throughout everything we have had to achieve, and handing over the reins to a one of a kind juggernaut that he has been instrumental for building.
One of a kind
And
kind of
like,
bugs the fuck out of me, I'm not going to lie. I don't know why
I
it bugs
yeah,
me, but
well, I know why. Can I throw in why I think from my perspective as someone that genuinely cares about your mental and your attitude and everything else?
go for it. Honestly, I want to hear what this is.
I genuinely think it is being the same sentiment of the fact that we don't know who the hell these people are.
True.
I think that saying it one of a kind is like saying that like
They've done better. They've done more community outreach. They've done like it's not.
yeah. What have they done? That's what you're trying to say. What have they
Yeah.
done?
Like I get it. Pokemon collaboration was cool, but it was $100, and none of us really gave a shit. And
You were
then,
excited.
yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. As a Pokemon fan, yeah, I was excited until I saw the fucking price tag. I can buy 3 plushies of my favorite Pokemon for that price. But mostly, what I'm more upset is that I said it. I said it, and I don't have a filter right now. We're all right. I'm gonna be on a stream. I'm about 5 beers deep, 6 beers deep right now, so I have no filter anymore. All right, we got 30 minutes left of this podcast. I just gotta make it through 30 minutes. All right. um, they're a second-rate tier 1 organization. I only hear when I hear about 100 Thieves. You know what I hear about? How well their CDL team is doing. And you want to know how well their CDL team is doing? Hold on, I'm literally about to look up the fucking 100 Thieves. Okay, all right. I'm about to. Nope. They haven't played a match since November 2024. Am I wrong here? Show all.
I'm not surprised.
And that's what I'm saying is like I don't. Optic won that, which is hilarious to me. After losing so many matches. Call of Duty League Stage 2 Minor. Oh, did Thieves just win this? What is it? When was this? End of the beginning of this month. So they did just win a minor. But that's the last time I heard about 100 Thieves. You know? You don't hear anything about this
Hoodie
team
org.
until that they win.
Hoodie org. Period.
Hoodie org. You're right. Honestly, and you know what? I think you and I have had this discussion before is that as much as we think 100 Thieves fails on the gaming and entertainment side, they do really, really well in merch sales. At least from what we think.
No denying it. No denying it at all. That's it.
But then what do you I'm going to leak a little bit here. All right, I apologize to you, Sam, but thinking about our core pillars, how many points are they touched upon?
Thieves?
Yeah,
I'd say 1.5.
1.5.
Uh,
That's not
and
enough.
I'll say the half. Hold on, I'll message you the half. Uh, uh.
Oh, what's the half? Yep. All
Oh
right,
wait,
you and I are both
I'm
on the
wrong.
same page here. But that's what I'm saying is like 1.5. Pillars are meant to be there to help the structure stand. If you're not meeting all of those pillars, you're not doing good, you know? And like I've put my full faith and belief into what like Sam has developed, and like I will never leak this shit, like whatever. But Sam has developed a really good thing for organizations to follow, and a lot of these organizations fail at meeting the criteria to be a good organization. And 100 Thieves is no, like, they're not safe from it. Because you know what? In the next year, if fucking Matt, is that what Nate Shaw's name is? Matt?
Yeah.
If he all of a sudden is like, yeah, I'm going to take a step back, that organization's going underneath. He might step back in and try to save it, but at the same time, it's like, they're not doing enough. No organization's doing enough. I'll be honest. The only reason that the 6 organizations I listed are still alive, other than maybe give or take Space Station and Sentinels, they're not doing enough. Like, even Liquid, I'll throw Liquid under the fucking bus. I don't see any content for coming from Liquid that much, you know? Hold on, I'm about to eat my words, aren't I?
What?
Liquid not putting out content. It's a 50-50.
Eh,
No, because Liquid, in my opinion, Liquid has always been a very competitive focused team. They pick the best players, the best fucking teams. They pick up everything that they possibly can that is good, and like they try to be a top industry. They just picked up a PUBG team.
it's popular outside of the US.
Is it?
It
Okay.
makes sense. And Liquid is more international along with LG. Both of them are more internationally recognized than
But that's a
others.
that's an insanely good thing. If you're recognized internationally, you pretty much have the whole world in your pocket. You could access any industry or any fucking demographic at any given time. And like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't feel like that any of them who can tap into that market. And here's my other issue, and I'm gonna get fucking canceled for saying this, but NA is boring. North America is a boring fucking region. Everybody wants to make it in North America. Every organization wants to be in North America. What about Southeast Asia? What about South America? Like those are probably two of the most passionate regions within the whole esports industry. Why are we not investing more into a passion? That's what gaming is we all have a love for a game. And I'm not gonna lie, you pick fucking Fnatic. No, not Fnatic. TNC Predator. I don't know if you know that name.
I've heard of Predator. It might be the same one that I'm thinking of.
So TNC Predator, they were a Southeast Asian Dota 2 team and they made it to TI. They were one of the they beat out everybody who they thought was everybody who English. They beat out all the teams who you would think was making it to TI, basically. And they became quick favorites. And not to mention, they had all of Southeast Asia behind them because Southeast Asian fans, and like, if anybody's out there watching this, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't matter who makes it through. As long as a Southeast Asian team is there, you're going to root for that team because that is your region. North America, it is so bloated. I've got Sentinels, I've got 100 Thieves, I got FaZe, I've got FlyQuest, I've got fucking. Give me another one. Space Station.
Give me
I've
some.
got fucking.
Oh, yeah, Space Station.
Like, I mean, I'm not throwing Space. I think you and I both praise Space Station enough. Like, we do praise them because they
Yeah,
are doing well. But I just listed off 7 teams. And that's not even all of them. You got the LA Gorillas. You've got fucking uh Shopify. You've got I could keep listing
but
all
you.
on and on about the NA teams, but there's too many of them. Support other regions.
I, I mean, I had showed you and I linked it out how Fnatic just dipped. Like
Yep.
Fnatic is very smart. They're strategically they dipped out of rivals. They know that essentially EU is not going to get the monetary support that it needs to sustain a roster like that. Now NA may be able to hold for the first 5 months, 4 months. Maybe they can hold out for longer, but like I don't think so. We're oversaturating the NA market, like you're saying. I am bouncing off of you and saying like I saw Ground Zeroes, which is a US team. I think they're pretty solid. I don't think they've been embroiled in major controversy. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyone out there, please do. Um, they picked up a roster, and I think that they'll be smart. Like they're one of those rosters I think that has or organizations that has real traction in Australia. I think they have like sports teams and like actual like sports ball players invested into the rosters and are actually doing content for Ground Zeroes. So
Even then, like I'm even thinking about like China. Like I know they have a lot of restrictions on their games, but at the same time, like there is a possibility of becoming a name within that region. There's not a lot of people supporting these other regions. So like Liquid Like they could walk into Southeast Asia and pick up like the best player in the world or the best team in the world, but you know that they're going to get the support because for one, they're a stable brand. For two, they're getting support from global, and not to mention they would be getting a severe support from regional. And like it makes me confused as to why. And I will be honest, I am definitely one of the people who have been obsessed with North American esports entirely. Like, you know what? I have always been focused on it, but at the same, actually, no, not even then. I supported South American Dota 2. I did everything I can to support South American Dota 2 because I thought it was a bigger passion down there. You know, like I actually felt excited to manage a South American Dota 2 team because I knew that the people would be behind that team no matter what, you know? And that's where I'm like they get it like the NFL, different states, you choose your team based upon like where you live regionally or where you lived at one point regionally, but at the same time like I don't support my local NFL team. I don't. I'm not a fan of them. But you know who I do like? San Francisco 49ers. Like that's my favorite team. So people who are regionalized to other areas will still be fans of other spaces that are out there. So if you're willing to support a region who has a passionate group of people behind them, do it. Do it, do it, do it. Like it's going to help you grow no matter what because you are supporting some people who really genuinely thought they weren't going to get any support. EU, I'm not going to lie, isn't as like bloated with teams, but at the same time like the teams that are over in EU right now are already signed to top organizations and they're already competing at a top level. Mongols, like we were both celebrating Mongols' success the other day
Oh
or
yeah.
on Sunday. They got government support from their country. Like Southeast Asia, I'm not, or like I'm talking about Southeast Asia like way too much, but it's Asian. The Asian countries are willing to support way more into this than anywhere else because anywhere else has to choose one team out of the 30 plus teams that are in their region.
I mean, that's why I was so insistent when I saw the opportunity to do so to support the tier 2 scene in a meaningful way. But I also recognize where the pitfalls are and where the shortcomings are in North America, and it is the how scrupulous everyone has to be and how cutthroat you have to be while also allowing to just give up more of the pie to other people.
Mm-hmm.
That being like
Well, I
100
mean,
Thieves clown on like olden days, like boomer time. If this was like 2010, 2009, if complexity, let's say we move everything back and scale it just for the timeline wise, if complexity comes back and 100 Thieves still exists, 100 old media and marketing would be like, what are these guys doing back? They failed. Like, lol, idiots. Like that would be the answer from every social media post. Like, way to come out of retirement, Grandpa. Maybe you'll remember something out of your dementia. Like that's the type of stuff that used to be said. Like that's hyper toxic, and yeah, we can't do it nowadays because you got to be nice to everyone. But the reality is there's a certain amount of reality to that. Like you can't. It's just bad. Where now, it's just bad. Like it would keep basically a gate kept esports for all the pro teams, like the tier 1 rosters were there. But you also had teams that were coming out of nowhere that could literally just sweep a tournament.
and that I think that's
And
where
that's
like that's back then when like nobody was noticed right away because I mean esports wasn't really a thing. The industry didn't really exist until 2011, 2012, really. Like it was there, but it wasn't as big as it really like started to get. And you could literally have like three friends who or Forgive me for not knowing how many players are on a Halo team, but like you gotta have four friends who are basement dwellers playing Halo together for 24/7 and then be like, hey, there's a LAN nearby. Let's go play that LAN. And then they sweep it. The issue is that these organizations or this venture capital money like started coming into the scene and being like, buy that team, buy that team, and buy that team. All right, we're done.
Yeah.
And they basically left them
Yep.
to run it. And that was kind of like the start of the downfall of esports. Yeah, we had a peak in 2015, 2016, but that was because, I mean, Valve was giving insane support to its esports scene, both Dota 2 and CSGO, like insane support. And Riot was popping off with League of Legends no matter what. How long has Faker been a player? Out of curiosity.
Oh God. Let me see.
How long has this guy been playing fucking Dota 2, or League of Legends?
2013 with SK Telecom.
That's insane. But he's also the most sought out player of all time. Damn,
That is a
2013
12-year. That is a 12-year career.
in esports. That's
And
insane. I get fucking Faker gets my applause. Damn. And he's been at the top for like 12 years now too.
he is in the Hall of Fame while still playing.
That's insane. But that's what I'm saying. Back in 2013, who was he playing against? KT Rolster Bullets, CJ Entis Frost, and the Royal Club.
I mean, those were some OG teams, but that's the thing is like if you look at it now, they're probably more highly competitive at this point. But the thing is, he still beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Like even like nowadays, he's still going toe to toe. He is the LeBron of League of Legends.
Damn. I'm not gonna lie. I know not much about League of Legends, so like just looking at Faker's like success throughout 12 years in esports, this is insane to look at. Especially like going against like Gen G, who I know has a really good League of Legends team.
Gen G has
RNG.
been crazy.
What was that?
Gen G has been crazy. Like DRX, I know is up there. Like any Korean team, I will say will hands down probably be more competitive or at a higher competitive rate than any other team in any other region
I will
because they
also
take it
state
seriously.
Baker has been a part of T1 since 2014.
Yeah. Well,
And they built their whole organization basically around this one player. And
yep.
uh, that's good. Fucking Moist Esports and Shopify combined together. Granted, those two Moist Critical and Ludwig, they're not competitive players, but if they are smart and allow the content creators to be able to promote their organization, it's going to be good for them in the long run, you know?
As we get closer, so if we're talking about content, like I'm ready to get into a little bit of controversy. We'll just do a quick touch and go on this.
Okay.
We'll be like those planes that hit the tarmac and then come back up.
Didn't want to
You
land
have,
there. We're
yeah,
good.
when you have streamer organizations like an OTK who are trying to compete in the eyeball space with esports orgs and other individual creators, how can you even like how can you even circle a square when it comes to these content orgs that are literally peeling off? And mind you, like for legitimate reasons, like I think it's a good thing that they've separated from certain individuals at OTK. Like I will say that on the record. Um, but how do you recover it? Because those were individuals that were instrumental to the growth of it. And now you're bringing in people who are very much soft-handed, who are coming in from organizations like Misfits, who completely misorganized and pretty much fleeced all the creators that were there. Um,
So
like, how do you even compete in that space? Like,
I
you
wanna
have esports giants doing it.
I wanna interrupt a little bit real quick here, because
Yeah,
here's
say it.
my thing. With OTK, yes, it's a live streaming organization. Yes, they have a group of live streamers that work under OTK, which is fucking great. The one angle that I think OTK needs to start taking is partnering. They need to partner with esports organizations. If they want to touch upon all parts of esports, from merch to viewership to whatever, they should partner with an organization. Be it 100 Thieves, be it Liquid, be it whatever, whoever they really believe is going to make it work. Give some of those funds that you are getting through your content over to esports and just slap your name on the top of it. That is going to do wonders for OTK. Because I'm not going to lie, when I first heard of OTK, you know what I immediately thought they were going to be?
What?
I'm sure you probably thought the same thing. I thought they were going to be an esports organization with content creators
Oh,
backing it.
yeah, yeah. That's yeah.
I'm
But that's
sure
that was
I'm
so
not the
long
only
ago.
one
But
either.
it changed. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying is like, if you know what, you don't want to do esports, that is absolutely fine. But I know that there is at least 3 or 4 of them that will 100% take a portion of what you are making to fund what they're doing in order to continue what they're doing. And you just have to slap your name on the front of that and keep your hands off. Honestly, that's probably the best like marketing strategy that OTK could go with, you know? Because I'm not gonna lie, I mean, and I'm definitely not the only one. Because like you just said it, and that just confirms that I'm not the only one. I thought they were gonna be an esports organization. I thought they were gonna pick up teams. I thought they were gonna actually start making a backing of esports through content, and they didn't. Which I'm not gonna lie, I think hurt them. Because I'm trying to think who's a part of OTK right now.
I don't know what the current list is, but I know that the former list was long and confusing because a lot of them only for the reason of proximity and vicinity to one another. Like it literally was a Texas-based organization.
OTK network. Yeah, I don't even know who's a part of this.
I think Extra Emily was there, but I think she is left now.
Jay Schlatt,
I
Osmond
mean,
Gold.
Schlatt barely makes content. I'm gonna be real. Like I don't think he makes consistent content. I'll eat my words. Let me look.
Oh shit. I hate whenever I go onto YouTube, it fucking auto plays videos. Scares the shit out of me. No, Emily's still there. I think they have Senna now
I
too.
thought she left.
Uh, oh, Emiru. That's who I'm thinking of. Yeah, Emiru. Emiru and Senna are in here. Jay Schlatt, Osmond Gold, Mizkift, Esfond, Nymphulol. No, Emily's still in there. Yeah, Emily's still in there. But even that's what I'm saying though, is like these are, I mean, maybe not the biggest biggest creators on the platform, but at the same time, they combined could promote the fuck out of 100 Thieves. You know?
Oh yeah. And you know they're friends with those people.
Yeah,
I don't mean that to sound condescending, but like legitimately, like when I mean friends, I mean genuinely like friends.
yeah.
Like they go to each other's birthdays, they hang out with each other's significant others. Like
So why
it's real.
doesn't an OTK support an esports organization?
Because of money. So
Okay.
here's the thing, right? Like I think we both made it clear if we, if some miraculous thing happens and we come into money with this podcast, like I think it's pretty clear on where we'd be at. Like as long as I am somewhat taken care of, I'm good. And you can have all the rest. I don't care. Like I think the idea is who's going to pay for who and how is the money going to be split for content And if there's a partnership, does it go to 100 Thieves or does it go to, OTK? I mean, it's pretty simple if you're a single tier creator or a single person creator, because reality is if you're like an XQC who has no org, he has a price tag, and I think he's mentioned it a couple of times.
XQC is
It's
probably the most
pretty,
open person. As much as I don't like XQC, he is probably one of the most open people out there.
yeah, good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah. I say I don't like him, but the thing with XQC is he just, I think he's too big, you know?
Yeah,
And like he doesn't, he's definitely a him person, you know? And nothing against that. Like if you've got the money and you want to hoard it, be my guest. Like I'll be honest, I've been poor my whole entire life, so fucking if I game into some money, like I'm gonna hold on to that shit, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make myself better. You know, make myself better. And like I feel like that's what he did. You know what he's doing, and like props to him
yeah,
for that. I can't hold that against him because honestly, I feel like I would be in the same boat. But at the same time, like OTK, where I'm not gonna lie, all of those content creators are. I mean, I'll say this in quotes, well off. Not to mention they're making money from their organization and partnerships and stuff like that. Like, why not expand and try and like make something else work? And you were right. You probably hit it right on the nail. They're all friends. They all probably go to each other's birthday parties. They probably all meet each other at fucking TwitchCon. They all meet each other wherever they can. You know, probably go out to lunches here and there. So why are they losing that one little bit of content that would bring in more audience? I don't really know how to end this podcast. We're at that 2 hour mark. I just realized.
well, you know what? I want to end on a positive note. How
Here we
about
go.
this? Let's find something
Positivity from
positive.
Sam.
Are you ready?
Mm.
What? Okay, out of all this, like summarizing, props to Space Station. They're doing it right. I love to see that shit. But how about this? Completely different topic. I'm gonna right turn this shit. We're
Ooh.
getting off the freeway and taking the rest stop slash ending the stream. Is there a song of the week? Is there some music of the week? What is the banger of the week for your music?
Ooh. I fuck with that question. Hold up. I'm literally opening up my playlist right now. You know what my fucking song of the week is? Hold up. Where is it? Uh it's fucking Too Sweet by Hosier. I've been fucking with Hosier
Okay.
recently. Close second, close second is anything from AJR. Their whole discography. I love me some AJR right now.
Okay, what was that song?
Too Sweet by Hosier.
Okay, and then the other one you
Uh
just mentioned?
Anything from AJR. You could pick an
Oh,
AJR song and those guys they don't miss. They don't miss. Have you ever heard of AJR?
I'm pulling up some music from them right now.
Fucking absolute best band of all time. Like I will fucking say it live on stream right now. Best band of all time. And they're like an orchestra band. So they do like trumpets, violin, cello, tuba, fucking I don't even know what else to say. They have
I'm
some
listening to
absolute
yeah, I'm
bots.
literally listening to 2085. I'm liking the vibe.
Right? It's a vibe. 2085 is a bop song. That's an amazing song for you to choose as your first one too.
I
Damn.
love the orchestral, dude. That's some good shit right there.
No, you got honestly, if you like that shit, yeah, listen to AJR. I'm telling you, like, even some oddball ones, like, "Come Hang Out" from their Neo Theater album. Not Neo Theater. What is it? "Come Hang Out." I don't remember what album is, but "Come Hang Out" is a really good one. DJ's "Crying for Help" is a really fucking good one. "Yes, I'm a Mess," absolute fucking bop. Honestly, AJR's top one. No, that's like my favorite band of all time. It got me through high school writing class, English class. I remember putting that in my ear and then just putting my head down and just writing.
Nice.
Where are you at this week? Wait, now I need to look up what you're listening to this week.
All right, I've got. Okay, let me pull up some music. Hold on.
I had to pull up my Spotify for a second.
Yeah, no, dude, I literally was opening everything up just so I could listen to your music, and luckily I am going back through some music. Um,
I do have a
okay.
guilty pleasure
I'm.
song.
Oh, okay.
Guilt,
Pop off right now.
guilty pleasure song. Bubblegum Bitch by Marina.
I've heard that. Wait, well, I know I've heard this song because
I
I
don't
know.
I don't know why, but every time I hear the song going into work, I'm just like, yeah.
Yes. Okay. The reason why I ask is because I kind of want to do a playlist every week and compare it against. Because I do ask players when I get into lobbies occasionally, like, what are they listening to?
Yeah.
What are they bopping to? And I want to create a playlist so we under like where is our mood this week? Because last week it was all sad boy music. It was not good.
I was listening to
This week
country last
much
week.
better.
I'm not gonna lie. That's my sad boy music is country music.
I mean, it is sad boy music if you think about it at its core.
Yeah. I literally, you know what's funny is my wife last week got into the car after I picked her up from work and she goes, "Oh, you're listening to country?"
Oh no.
She knew immediately. She's like, "Oh no. This boy had a bad week." But all right, that'd actually be that's a cool interaction thing for the stream too. Hey guys, we'll start making playlists. That's actually a really good idea. The mood of the
We'll
week.
post it every
We've been
week.
sipping our yappuccinos all week. You guys don't get to hear from us all week, and then all of a sudden you're gonna get a playlist, and it's gonna be what the what the theme of the fucking podcast is basically gonna be. We gonna be depressed or are we gonna be happy? All right,
So
shoot me with what you've been
my
listening to.
there are 3 songs I bumped to right now.
All right,
2 of them are from the same band,
okay,
so I will drop it. One of them is Clairvoyant by the story so far. Um,
that's a good band.
as
The
dealing,
story so far, Bob.
yeah,
They're really
I
fucking good.
they're old school too. They're like 12, 13 years old. So
Hell yeah. No,
I
I fuck with them hard. Yeah, I can't remember a single song from them right now, but
this
Letterman's a
one is
good
my
one.
favorite. I This is my emotional song. I've been listening to High Regards after that with them. And then
Okay.
a really good one that I've just been like this week particular last couple of days because I've been feeling better. Her Dancer by Aus. Uh, he's a Icelandic singer. He's part of that sad boy genre. I will post this up here into your DMs. But it's to me it's all about moving on and recognizing where I'm at and just I don't know, just having faith. Like that's about it. Having a little bit of faith in things moving forward in the right direction.
Well, hopefully this podcast is moving forward in the right direction as we're closing in on episode 7.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking about episode 10 this week, and I think episode 10 is when we bring in a guest.
I'm ready.
The
I will reach out.
first guest of Somehow We Manage will be on episode 10. Mark my words, I don't care who it is. It might be Clay, and that is fine.
That'll be fine. He'll yell at me that way.
Honestly, let the rage out, and then we shoot the shit for an hour, and then we bring good. All right. I will either that or there is another person that I will talk to you afterwards about that I've been thinking about that I could reach out to. Little teaser for y'all out there in the podcast world. Um, but yeah, if you ever want to follow us, I'm at Reviewing Llama on all social medias. That's the 8 Uffalo over there on social
Yeah,
medias. I always get that fucking confused.
it's
Podcast
terrible.
SWM on everything but YouTube. It's SWM podcast on YouTube. I promise I am still hearing back from YouTube, trying to hear back from YouTube about that because the other account is inactive. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you, everybody, for watching. Whoever tuned in today. Sam, you got anything else you want to say?
I want to thank you, brother. This has been we are in a good we are getting through this. We are in a good position. So thank you to everyone that's been listening. Thank you to our friends and family putting up with us.
The wife has got to put up with me every Sunday night. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night and deuces.